Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. And it's our 2019 OVA-ies Winners Announcement Podcast. It's our end of the year TV Animation Awards. People have been voting all of December, and we are here to reveal the winners in our 7 categories. You are probably looking at the reveal post right now on the website. But if you are not and you're just looking at this on, you're just listening on your podcast feed. If you want to avoid going to the website post for now, you can avoid seeing the winners and learn about the winners as our co-hosts here will be, I have the winners in front of me. They will be surprised as we reveal them and then discuss what should have won, what did win, and everything about how the voting went. All those details are at overlyanimated.com, but the quick explanation of how the results were calculated was half of it's determined by an open vote, which is just there's a Google form, anyone could vote on it. This year 645 people voted. Down a lot from last year, but you know, it's still good to get a lot of people voting in a forum. That's hard to do. And then the other half is determined from our patrons and staff internally voting on a separate ballot. And that ballot I weighed by shows watched in each category. Spoiler alert, that didn't really matter weighing it like that once again. And it just made it
because
a lot
most
harder
of us
to
watched
calculate.
everything.
Yeah, the majority.
I think it just averages out, so that's my guess, but I'm surprised that it still didn't really matter that much. But it feels better that the person that watched every show counts a little bit more than the person that watched like 2 shows. But if you're bothered by that, know that it wouldn't have affected anything doing it the other way. And so then I average those 2 percentages, and then that comes out with the final percent, which you'll see in the table on the site post. So that's really all the preface necessary.
Oh, so much math.
Yeah, it's just Excel formulas. That's basically what you need to. But yeah,
so math, but the computer does it.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
you.
Yeah, it's like it's just a calculator. It's fine. Okay, let's intro the co-hosts on here by having them say what are you rooting for most tonight? What show, character? It could be a show in a specific category. Like, what do you feel most passionate about should win? Michelle Ander, what are you rooting for tonight with these awards?
I really want Scorpia to win the best supporting character. I feel like if that miracle were to happen, because she's up against some steep competition, and I acknowledge that, but she's like one of my favorite characters this entire year, so I just like want her to be recognized. Other than that, like there are so many good shows, I'm not going to feel too begrudging. I do hope Tuca and Birdie also gets recognized, but I feel like maybe there's a good chance just because that show's had a lot of critical acclaim around it since it dropped, and especially since it was canceled, to kind of help people be aware of it. So I think those 2 things. Everything else, I'm going to be pretty happy whatever happens.
Okay, we'll see if that's true. If Michelle's happy with whatever.
I'm scared because you know and I don't.
We'll see. April Collins, well, what are you most rooting for?
I have a lot of like conflict because I like a lot of the shows in almost every category, but I think if I had to like put it, like boil it down to something, I think I'm most excited about like a lot of like the anime that's in each category. I mean, some of the categories don't have any like anime, like either characters or aren't recognized, but like Promised Neverland, like I love Promised Neverland, so I'm really excited to see it in multiple categories, as well as just like a bunch of other like, I don't know, sort of, I say like randoms, but like Carol and Tuesday's in there, and then there's like Love, Death, and Robots. So I'm kind of rooting for all of these like underdogs, if that's anything. But then of course, like my heart goes out to like Miraculous Ladybug and She-Ra, so, and Infinity Train. So
Okay, yeah, that's like half of them. Yeah, infamous anime Love, Death, and Robots. No, but it's no, that's a good call on the anime though, because we'll see if an anime
Ruby.
breaks through. Yeah, everyone knows Ruby. An anime is also nominated.
Yeah.
We'll see if an anime breaks through. The reason why you don't see more anime, as I always say at these podcasts, is that we're very Western animation focused kind of community, so we're more likely to nominate those types of shows. So I think Little Witch Academia is the only anime that's ever won one of these. I think visuals and supporting character. So we'll see if an anime pulls through this year. Sarah Potter, what are you rooting for?
A lot of these categories are filled with things that are like so close or so different. Like music, I love music, but all these things are like completely different. Like, how do you compare Steven Universe to Promised Neverland to like Has Been Hotel to Carol Tuesday? Like, I don't know. Like, I just really don't. But like the one category where I have one character where I like really, really know that they're my favorite of the year is supporting characters of 2019, and that's Speckle. So I'm sorry, Michelle, but
that's okay.
Speckle, I don't know what it is about him, but through the whole season, I just loved him more and more and more. And every scene he was in, I was just in love with. And I was very impressed by that.
Conflicting supporting character interests here. I like it. Yeah, I voted for Speckle too. I'm with Speckle here. Okay.
I mean, Speckle's a good boy. I understand. Competition.
This is a strong supporting character. Those are two really good ones. Then Allie Martin, what are you rooting for?
Well, I'm glad to hear you voted for Speckle because I'm also like I was on the fence. I voted for Scorpia, but that was like the category I was most curious about, and then also the music category because, like Sarah said, it's hard to compare something like the Steven Universe or Ruby soundtrack to something like Promised Neverland or Has Been Hotel or even Infinity Train. I think for Best Animated Show, I'm rooting for Toucan Birdie just because we needed more. Maybe it could still come back, but as of now, I mean, I'm still upset about it. But that was also really. I felt conflicted about that because BoJack Horseman is like probably my actual favorite out of all of these, and then Steven Universe, which is I don't know. There's too many good things, but I'm also surprised at like shows that didn't even make it to this round. But I'm really I don't know what to expect for any category. I don't think.
Okay, well, we'll still see. I feel like we're overthinking the results a little here.
I know.
We'll revisit this at the end.
You bet we are.
This is the.
That's how it works.
Yeah, well, this is I like all the talk of the music category. I agree that's a really interesting one, and a good transition to the first one. We'll go in reverse order on the website, starting with best music of an animated show of 2019. Nominated were Carol and Tuesday, Has Been Hotel, Infinity Train, Promised Neverland, Ruby, and Steven Universe. And the winner is Steven Universe.
Wow! That was definitely expected.
Yeah, this was kind of a blowout. I think this might have been our biggest blowout category. Steven won with an average of 44% of the vote, including half of the open vote. Which is impressive, getting half of 600 ballots. And also our internal community, it was number one placement for there as well. So most people were voting for Steven in this category. Ruby got second, strong showing from the Ruby subreddit. And the rest were kind of clumped together.
That makes me upset. Not because Steven Universe won, but because like it was a landslide. Because I don't think that really shows just how good all the other shows were for music this year.
Yeah, it's a good point. There's a lot of strong music here. I think like the strength of the Steven songs in the movie is what's propelling it here.
Yeah, no, and like it deserves it. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to win. It's just all of it. Like not even like my first pick isn't even in this list, and that sucks.
Yeah, Undone was great.
Undone was my like far and ahead like the best soundtrack.
I love the Promised Neverland soundtrack, as I've said a lot.
I loved it so much. I think that's what I voted for.
Ruby's always deserving of music. That's the best part of the show. So there are a lot of strong potential winners here, but this year goes to Steven after a musical movie aired. So that's a pretty big advantage. And Steven did win best music. So no one disagrees too much, I guess. But it would have been nice to see other things recognized, I guess. And this was the first year of this category. We can also talk about past winners as well. Okay, let's get into best visuals.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This one was also a tough-ish one.
This is, because like Carmen Sandiego looks so different from a show like Undone. Like, for example.
Undone looks different from all of them. But the nominees were Carmen Sandiego, Has Been Hotel, Love, Death, and Robots, Ruby, Steven Universe, and Undone. We'll I guess we'll break it down after the winner is said. And the winner is Steven Universe for best visuals.
What? Okay, I don't know about that.
That's a snub.
This one was a lot closer. This is the category I'm most upset with the winner of.
Same.
But as we talked about in the nominations, Steven had arguably like the three most gorgeously animated scenes of the year of animation history, with 2 in the movie and then like the end of Change Your Mind. I think that's kind of what people are voting for here. Just Steven at its best, and it got 35% of the open vote. It didn't win in our internal vote. We came out strong for Undone. But there's just no support for Undone in the open vote in any category this year. So it's like it's still finished in second.
I can't believe Carmen Sandiego didn't finish.
I know.
second.
I voted for Carmen. Just it's hard because like it's animated show period. So in that way, it's a little hard to be like
Exactly.
the budget of a Cartoon Network show versus like an Amazon Prime mini show or a Netflix show. Like it's hard, but just based on the title of the category, I was like Carmen.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And like, but then there's like, that's not even including the fact that I think the one thing that Love, Death, and Robots was good at, like the one thing that like it was not the only thing, but the one thing it was consistently good at through the whole thing is that it just had beautiful visuals, and it was very, very different across the entire show.
That's why I kind of thought that would
watch it.
Yeah, that would have been good. Love, Death, and Robots also Has Been Hotel did receive 17% of the open vote. That was good. I think that was like I think I've been saying that's the most impressed I've been like by visuals in like one episode of the year, and it is only one episode, but it was a really, really good episode visually. Ruby's also improves on visuals, and they all got a decent amount of the open vote. It was a lot more even in this one, but Steven did pull ahead. I think we'll see. Steven always had a strong backing in the open vote. So that's going to propel like this win. And then it's going to depend, on the how we voted internally. But I'm at least happy Undone came in second here, and that a lot of us voted for it, because I mean, I think that I guess Undone and Love, Death, and Robots kind of the most spectacularly innovative animated shows ever. So compared to that's why it might be slightly disappointing compared to Steven Universe, but I do think this Steven Universe winning Best Visuals any other year wouldn't make sense. This year definitely makes sense to a certain extent. So there's 2 wins for Steven Universe. And I feel like us having visuals and music categories are for non-Juggernaut shows to win. So I don't think they really did their job here. So we'll still see if
next year will be different.
Maybe we have to figure out what to do about that next year. Yeah, the whole purpose of Best Visuals is so like a show like Carmen Sandiego can win. But
the problem is it really did deserve to win the music category. Like it's not that it didn't deserve to win. It's just it's hard to judge that.
Not the animation one.
But yeah. I don't know if that's fair to say, because it did have good animation. It's just like it's hard. Do you argue that it's for like really good, consistent animation, or argue for it's like really
and maybe we should put descriptors on it or something. Like, this is a completely people can judge on their own what these things mean. So maybe we could have like, here's what you should vote, the criteria. But here's a category Steven is not nominated for: Best New Animated Show of 2018. I think we've been talking about the nominees podcast. This is the strongest grouping of new shows ever, I would say. Nominees were Carmen Sandiego, Genlock, Infinity Train, Promised Neverland, Tuca and Birdie, and Undone. A lot of really good choices here. We'll see if we can be upset by any of this. I would say no.
Oh man, I'm really nervous. I really care about this category.
Okay, well, the winner is Infinity Train.
What?
What?
There you go.
That is fair.
A little bit of a runaway with the open vote in Infinity Train. It won 40% of the open vote. Runaway Train. We're pretty split internally between Infinity Train, Tuca and Birdie. Also, Genlock and Undone also did decent internally for us. But Infinity Train's where everyone was voting on this one.
I'm glad.
That's very, very interesting. I guess I didn't account for how big that fandom might be. Just based on like the kinds of shows we talk about a lot, just among us. But I like, okay, Infinity Train's solid. I mean, I would choose it over Genlock. I don't know that.
You haven't seen Genlock, Michelle.
Come on.
Maybe it gets really amazing later, and there's less just fighting robots.
Oh yeah, didn't you? You did watch. You watched the beginning of Genlock.
Michelle, Genlock's all about like identity and like.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
It gets
Okay.
better.
Gender identity and like other stuff.
Tuca and Birdie did finish seconds, which is a lot of what
Okay,
people
that
were
makes me
rooting
feel a lot
for.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Genlock in third. Yeah, I wonder if it's because we're focused sometimes on non-adult shows, so maybe the people voting are more likely to vote for a show like Infinity Train than a show like Tuca and Birdie. But I also think, as we'll see, Tuca and Birdie also struggled in the open vote. Only getting 12% in its only season of the best new show. So I think it's cool that Infinity Train has such a strong following already. Though also, maybe
that is really cool.
Yeah.
a lot. I think as we've seen, Steven fans came out strong in the vote, so maybe a lot of them also like Infinity Train. I'm not sure if that's how that works.
I think
It's like the Cartoon Network Association.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, Infinity Train is a really good new show. It's
Yeah.
just there was a lot of really good new shows, and so this is
Plus,
great.
Also
like
happened
your
very-
your take on what best means can really vary.
Yeah.
'Cause, like for me, like the reason I voted Tuca and Birdie is just because like it gets into so many things that I was like, yes, me, I feel so seen. This is amazing. But like that's a very different perspective than somebody else. So
Yeah.
I get it.
And for me, like Infinity Train had the best like 11-minute episode of television for me,
Yeah,
which
I
isn't
did
in
have
this.
the Chrome car. That's
The Chrome
true.
car, like I'm in love with, and I know that's like just a me thing. Like I loved the Chrome car. Like Infinity Train was really solid.
Yeah.
Wasn't it also one of the shows that came out later in the year?
It was.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has anything to do with
August?
it. It feels like it
I
might.
don't know.
I thought it was
Yeah.
later than August.
I think there's probably
I thought it was,
somewhat
like,
of recency
August.
bias. It aired later than Tuca and Birdie did, if that matters. I think Infinity Train, Tuca and Birdie, Genlock, Undone. I voted for Undone, but I'd be fine with any of those winning. So I
Damn,
think
you really
this
love
is-
that show.
Oh yeah,
Undone. I mean, Undone's really great. It's just very particular.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Which is not a bad thing. It's
Right.
just like, to
Yeah.
each their own.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I just I wouldn't vote for it for a lot of these things.
Well, I don't think it's nominated for anything else. So there you go. That's this is the last. We'll see more Tuca and Birdie. We'll see if it can break through. Infinity Train wins Best New Show, and we'll get to see season 2 very soon. So we'll see if it follows it up well.
And season 2 of Undone, they got greenlit, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but we probably won't see that for a while. But yeah,
Okay.
season. I mean, we don't know how long they've been working on it, but we know Infinity Train's right around the corner. Best supporting character, highly
I'm
anticipated
scared.
by a lot of them. So we'll see.
See, all of them are so perfect.
I know! You know, Spinel and
Except
Venomous
for
and
maybe
Speckles
Venomous.
Scorpio.
Nominees were Amaya from Dragon Prince, 1-1 from Infinity Train, Scorpio from She-Ra, Speckle from Tuca and Birdie, Spinel from Steven, and Venomous from OKKO.
I really don't know about that last one, but Spinel is also a tough one because she's like perfect. But all the other ones are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. The winner is Scorpia from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Scorpio got her day in the sun. I'm
Yes.
so happy.
Scorpia on the back of unprecedented support from us internally with 60% of our ballots.
Like after all those Steven wins, it's like, oh, of course Spinel's gonna win because Spinel's great, and
Yeah.
there's that many. Yeah, I'm so happy though.
Spin-
Yes,
Oh,
Scorpio.
but wait, 1-1 got 0% on internal. I thought someone would vote
Yeah,
for
well,
him.
there's only like 25 ballots, so you'll see some zeros here. It's just just no one happened to have. But Spinel got second, won most of the open vote, a lot of Steven open voting, and some support for Amaya and Speckle as well. So, but yeah, no, we just apparently our community just decided Scorpio was winning this one. So
Yeah!
that's how that works.
She deserves it.
She deserves it.
It's
She's
really-
had a
it's what
hard
she deserves.
year.
For real,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good. Yeah, she was nominated for last year. She didn't win. So this is good. I voted for Speckle though. Hashtag. But past winners: Lotora last year, Diana the little year before, Peridot the year before that. So Scorpia joins those herald. Also.
Lotor is
Your emperor, Dylan.
My Emperor. Look, Voltron had to end for Scorpia to have a shot at this category.
That's
all I'm
very
saying. Lotor's the reason we got like 12,000 votes last year, so he's forever remembered.
Lotor saved Voltron for like so long.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, absolutely.
Carried it on his back.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like sometimes this category goes to like standout characters. Like Lotor is a standout character and maybe not a strong character show. Voltron. Scorpia is a strong character in a show full of strong characters. So that's kind of interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
she's just the strongest.
Maybe apparently she
Got
got
the
says. A
biggest
lot of
meaty
people would agree with
claws.
that. Those, yeah, the strongest hands. Okay, so we got the Scorpio win. Everything else is gravy, right? We're good now. But best main character nominated in this one were Birdie from Tuca and Birdie, Glimmer from She-Ra, Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug, Ruby from Ruby, Steven from Steven Universe, and Tulip from Infinity Train.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I thought this one was really interesting. Who was gonna win this one?
I
Yeah.
don't like it.
You don't like already the
I'm
result?
scared.
Kind of,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the winner is Tulip from Infinity Train.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Very close.
Awesome.
This is the closest category with
Wow.
Steven.
I voted
Yeah.
for Steven TBH. Just he's
Yeah,
been through
same.
a lot and he's done a great job.
He really
And this
has.
was mostly pre-future because everything's a hot mess for teenage Steven, but
How
younger
is
Steven is great.
Glimmer last?
Oh,
Yeah,
is she?
sad.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
I-
I thought Glimmer had a lot of support.
I was split between Tulip and Birdie, but
Yeah,
Tulip
me too.
is a good character.
Yeah, Tulip's a great character.
I love her.
Yeah. Tulip,
I would've voted for
and this is,
Tuca over
this is Tulip's only season, right? So it's an anthology
Yeah.
show.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Infinity Train was so focused on her arc. Like, I feel like this is the strongest aspect of Infinity Train season 1 was.
I mean, yeah, it benefits from that because it hinges on her entire character arc
Yeah.
being in these only these episodes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so we kind of overruled the open vote, who went towards Steven and Marinette after Thomas retweeted the link, and we voted 40% for Tulip, which I was a little surprised by. But this is, I think I was kind of pushing hard against Steven in our chat, and then Steven showed me up by having a really strong last few weeks
Yeah.
of December.
Yeah,
But I'm still happy he didn't win, to be honest. But this is, I don't know if a characters came on as strong that's been around for a long time as Steven. Like, this is definitely Steven's year. But Tulip, I think, hard to argue with her winning as well. Would have been nice, Birdie, but like I said, not a lot of support in the open vote for Tuca and Birdie here. And then a lot of Ruby fans did vote, but not enough. So they could have spammed it more, but they didn't. There you go.
I can't believe Glimmer. That's nuts to me, especially over Marionette, even though I don't watch that show.
maybe
Yeah, well, if you
season
will.
5's gonna be her year though. 2020.
I think this
Glimmer.
was probably the
Happened.
Glimmer year. I'd be surprised
That's
if
what I thought because of
Catch
her
her last
new
year,
dark
but-
arc.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, Marinette won last year, Star the year before that, and Pearl the year before that. I think this is a really
Oh yeah,
really
this is a
strong
really
group.
strong lineage.
yes, and all female winners in the main character category so far. I think probably Steven would have been the only one to break through, but we don't know. We'll see how
That's
shows
kind of
do
why I
next year.
voted for him.
I just in terms of dues paid over so many years.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, wow! You're voting for the legacy of.
Yeah, that was definitely a legacy vote for me. Otherwise, I totally would have done Tulip probably, just because Birdie's great, but I feel like Tuca and Birdie's more split between both of them, not just Birdie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Tulip's the whole focus
Yeah.
of that
this
season.
is true.
so-
Yeah, I think Birdie comes on so strong at the end of that. No, so
That-
you
no,
go,
that's
you go watch
true.
it.
Yeah, Jelly Lake.
I still would have
Yeah,
voted
Jelly
for
Lake's
Tuca
pretty
before
focused.
her.
Mirror Tulip next year for the best main character. We'll see. We'll see in a few days. Okay.
MT.
Okay, the best episode. These are what I think are the two big categories of the night. Best episode and best show. Nominees for best episode are 12-10-45 Promise Neverland, Change Your Mind, Steven Universe, Cleaves, Star vs. Force Evil, Jelly Lake, Stuka and Birdie, Only Me, I Know, Genlock, and Remember, She-Ra and the Princess of Power. A lot of strong episodes here, but the winner was Change Your Mind from Steven Universe.
I mean, it was a strong event for sure.
Yes.
Was it a close vote?
So
Not
it
really.
kind of dominated the open vote, about half of the open vote. Internally,
Oh, wow.
we went more in favor of Jelly Lakes, but we could not overrule the high percentage of Change Your Mind votes.
Also, to be fair, Change Your Mind happened really early in the year, and
That's true.
Yeah.
I
I think
I
that's
was
a
seeing-
disadvantage for it.
Yeah,
so I'm
but I'm
surprised
just
it
saying-
still pulled
I think
it
it's more out of our mind, is what I'm saying. Those first months after Change Your Mind were it was stuck in my brain for all day.
Yeah.
Days on end.
because it wraps up so much stuff from the show, like, which is so satisfying. Plus, it's like 40 minutes long versus like Jelly Legs, which is like one episode of a brand new show that people are still getting used to. So like that makes sense to me. I'm glad that they at least got second place, but I think Change Your Mind makes sense that it won. It was good.
It came out like when I was coming to terms with my identity, and then Steven did, and it was just like, oh no, this is like too real.
Yeah, those are my top two, other than the movie, like the top two episodes of the year. We didn't think the movie should be, so I'm fine with those.
It's not an episode.
Yeah, well, that's what we determined. So
I'm kind of glad the Genlock episode came before the Promised Neverland, even though that was a really good episode.
A lot of late support for this Genlock episode. People
Genlock
really like
third place. That's not bad.
It's a really good episode.
Really good, Dylan.
It's a really good show.
No, this is episode 5. This is the identity episode. Yeah. This is, I think it's the best one, but there's 3 really good Genlock episodes. This is one of them. And then, the first Promised Neverland episode, which I still think is like the best anime episode in a long time. But,
really?
Leave this last, I see.
Good.
Look, it got votes from the open vote. Just
it's what it deserves.
Respected it. It's not what it deserves. It just
it's not bad. It's just worse than these, which is there's a lot of great episodes. Slightly worse than.
I will die on this hill. It's a bad episode.
It's not. Look, we're still polarized on the star finale, but it got nominated.
We're all bad.
It will forever be nominated. That's good. Past winners were Single Pale Rose, Steven Universe, Tales from the Citadel, Rick and Morty, Weird Mageddon 3, Gravity Falls. Two in a row for Steven
stuff
here.
too.
Interesting.
First time Steven's won an episode one though?
No, last year Single Pale Rose.
Single Pale Rose. Oh.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can break the Steven streak next year. Who knows?
Probably not. It'll only happen when the show ends.
Yeah, which next year presumably. So we'll have one more year. And here we are with Best Show. BoJack Horseman, Genlock, Infinity Train, She-Ra and the Princess Power, Steven Universe, and Tuca and Birdie.
Please don't be Steven Universe.
I really want She-Ra.
I voted for Steven, and now I'm really regretting that choice.
I feel
you voted for it, huh?
BoJack's Fair is a legacy vote. Just
that's what I'm saying.
It evolved so good, but like strictly for 2019, I feel like it should be She-Ra. But like, who knows what's gonna happen?
It's gonna be Steven.
We'll see.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll see. The winner is Steven Universe.
I like you didn't even like wait, Dylan. You just went like, yeah, but
I feel like it's obvious at this point.
Everybody.
She-Ra was a strong second.
Okay, so I'm gonna just like kind of mentally just look at a lot of second places this time and be like, oh, good.
BoJack came in last.
Oh, that's so sad. BoJack deserved higher.
I don't know. BoJack didn't have a great year.
BoJack only aired 8 episodes.
I think this year. That's a great year for BoJack.
Okay, but it's not the place to argue about this season of BoJack, but it wasn't great.
That's true. Just looking at 2019, I think that's fair. Only like 8 episodes.
She-Ra second. Tuca and Birdie did well with us internally, but didn't do anything to open vote. Genlock 4th, and then Infinity Train and BoJack. This is the 3rd year out of 4 that we've been doing these awards that Steven has won. It won last year, and the first year, and Rick and Morty's the only other show that won.
Oh man,
that's kind of why I'm like, our awards are very Steven dominated. This is
so funny. Show just needs to end.
It's just, I'd like, it is like either the best show on TV or one of the best shows on TV. So that's fine.
True.
I'm not sure if it's like 75% above the rest. Like, like it's, I don't know if it's like that much better. Like, but the other best show is like BoJack, and BoJack hasn't won for us. So next year, let's start campaigning.
Start campaigning now. That and She-Ra, absolutely.
If She-Ra's also ending. Yeah, that's tough though.
Oh gosh.
You have to do BoJack versus BoJack versus She-Ra next year, and then Steven will still win. But there you go.
Don't even say
it's true.
It's probably
not wrong.
Don't you wish that evil on us, Dylan?
Look, I this is the one I actually agree with Steven winning. I do think it was the best show of the year. I think the movie plus Change Your Mind and Future has been really good so far.
I just really wanted Tuca and Birdie to win for the sake of having something.
I also just wanted something else to win.
Yeah, yes. So Steven
saying the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I voted for it. Oh god.
But that's the thing, like, we all know that Steven Universe is an amazing show, but, like, I feel like sometimes these, like, our awards should be like, hey, there's also these other great shows out there, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least
Like,
that's what
now I'm
nominations
like,
do.
ooh, I really need to watch Undone because I haven't yet.
Oh,
So
you haven't?
Yes, you should,
Oh.
April. And I gotta watch more Genlock, clearly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
show
I
you
should.
Sarah, you need to finish Genlock.
I
I
did.
just remember that the
good.
scientist guy is Scrooge McDuck, and I got
Michelle.
so excited.
Michelle, we're talking about Genlock tomorrow, later. It's gonna be.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
true.
didn't
We'll get more.
realize how
We'll get more
clear it was.
Genlock soon. So not that much, but
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah. I don't, what were we? Oh yeah. See, so Steven wins 4 out of the 7 categories. That's a lot. And then Infinity Train with 2 other wins, and She-Ra with 1 win. That's it.
That's
only 3
actually
shows.
pretty.
That's
I
it.
feel
That's all
pretty
that
okay
happened.
about. Well, I mean, Steven took a lot of slots, but I mean, these are all shows I really like, so at least there's that.
yeah.
Six
really
six
should
out
have
of 7 wins to Cartoon Network. That's impressive.
Yeah, they're on a roll.
I think we'll.
Don't
They don't
Nickelodeon
even
has-
know it.
Hard
Don't
to
even
imagine
know.
this keeping up, but like with Steven ending, but it's the strong performance from them, and I think like last year She-Ra did really well, and that's like okay, She-Ra's going to be impressive show support wise in our community and across the animation world. I think this portends Infinity Train being that this year. Like I think Infinity Train is going to be like this big show. And She-Ra still, it finished second in a lot of categories and won 1 category. So a lot of people, that's ending next year. A lot of people looking forward to that. A lot of these new shows, gonna have either second seasons now or eventually. Not all of them though, sad. But we got two Goomba nominated for a lot of things. And, I think this does show Steven's very strong year of multiple facets. Oh yeah. Also, we're going to say special acknowledgement to the Steven Universe movie because it didn't get nominated for anything because it's not really an episode. But I think it's the best thing that's aired this year or any year is the Steven Universe movie.
Ever in existence of anything.
Maybe. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a hot
Maybe.
take.
Yeah. Okay. Any closing thoughts? Anyone?
Too good, Birdie.
I'm really happy Scorpio won.
Scorpio
Best
won.
supporting character. That was well deserved. I don't care if internal votes are the only reason that happened. I'm so happy about it.
It's what she deserves.
It is what she deserves.
This year was probably the best year of animation in a long time. Like I don't know what you could beat this year with in like recent memory. Like this year was incredible with so many different shows.
Yeah, in terms of quantity and quality, I'd absolutely agree with that. It's kind of insane. It feels like 5 years ago there were like maybe 3 really solid shows, and now there's like 15 of them, and it's crazy.
You can't keep up with it.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
hard
no.
what
to
a great
keep with,
problem
but
to
also,
have.
like,
Right?
I was like, it's an amazing problem to have. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many other like amazing shows that like exist that didn't even like it was really hard whenever like we were narrowing down like the nominees too,
Yeah.
because like I remember just staring at the list being like, I want to vote for all of these things. Like, do I have to pick just one, like, or 2 or whatever it was? So
I think that some amount of like popular culture, like the whatever, like people in like I feel like people are starting to see like animation is not just like Family Guy type stuff and like stuff that you put on for your kid. Like it looks like because like just last year we had like stuff like Spider-Verse, and I remember that started the conversation for a lot of people where they're like, oh, this was gorgeous, and they like didn't realize animation could be that. And I think that's kind of followed through into this year with a lot of people watching and making shows that are just look different, and there are different.
Yeah, that's a great point. All these new shows, a lot of different adult shows coming onto the scene, different kid shows too with Infinity Train. And yeah, I agree with Michelle's point. Like, a few years ago, it's like, the shows you must watch are Steven, Rick and Morty, BoJack, and like maybe if it was a strong year for Voltron, it's kind of and now there's seriously 15 top tier shows now.
So many,
Like this
yeah.
is definitely the hardest show for the year for nominating, and like that's why I wanted to do our like top. Everyone ranks their top 10. It's like this is actually a really hard thing to do this year, right? Like in past years, it's like okay,
that
everyone
was
has Steven
so
at the top.
hard.
Like, and I think this will be true next year as well if you look at what shows are in, because Infinity Train's gonna air, BoJack's last season, Rick and Morty will still be there. We didn't even talk about Rick and Morty, which does, or like Young Justice had a great year. Craig of the Creek, like those are also shows that'll be there.
Summer Camp, yeah.
Those will be back next year.
Well, and then
We'll
we're
get-
getting even more new shows, like
Yeah.
Owl House is premiering.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
So This might be even harder next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. If it
Oh,
is,
and
it'll be a good thing.
Hilda will be back next year.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's gonna be a really hard year next year.
Yeah, and then I assume not Undone, but we'll see. And yeah, so it'll be fun. And there's always a show or two that comes out. No, like we didn't think we'd be talking about Genlock here. But
Please
there-
don't vote for
Yeah,
the season.
no, that's an understatement.
That's an understatement.
Really
It's the
convinced me to
understatement
check
of the
out
century.
Genlock. I really want to watch it for real now.
Do it. I'll watch with.
This time last year, Dylan, we were still talking about how it's just a meme show. It's gonna be
Yeah, everyone was making
I don't
fun
know
of it
why.
when it started
Yeah.
last
It's
year.
actually
There
a
was-
really good
Yeah,
show.
well, we had
You
no
guys are
reason
just
to we had
haters.
no reason to
Okay.
believe it would be good before. But
Allie,
now
in
we
our
know.
defense, all we knew at the show at this time was that Michael B. Jordan was in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. You're all a
It's
bunch
a
of
Rooster
haters.
Teeth
Ambitious
show, and it
project
has
in Forgot,
robots.
and that's
Like,
it.
yeah.
Listen, y'all are just anime Sasuke hating haters, okay? Like,
Where was Boruto on the nominees? Honestly,
Oh, God.
that's
Oh my gosh.
you mean Naruto's dad? No,
Yeah.
son.
I think it was his son, yeah.
Whichever one.
Yeah, where was Sword Art Online? Honestly, in these nominees.
Oh,
But that's
Dylan,
okay.
that was on like some.
Let-
That was.
we're waiting for the Anime Awards to.
Oh God,
Gosh.
we are doing that.
Yeah, for the record, Anime Awards are like very similarly determined as our awards if you question our legitimacy. So that I learned that last year. It's like the
Because
same
that'll
thing.
make you question it less. The way the
Yeah.
anime is ranked.
Yeah, and look, those are good awards. We're gonna watch Christina V. Only if she hosts them again. That's the okay. This is all
Again?
okay.
I'm sorry.
I don't think she is.
New thing. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you missed the last year. We got to just watch a replay of the last year's anime. Okay, that's I assume they're soon or something. Okay, that's it.
Oh, wait a second. Can't look this up.
OVA-ies.com. Let us know what you thought of the results on the website or in our Discord, OVA-ies.com/Discord. A lot of patron voting here, so this is an example of the type of thing patrons get access to, I guess, is a big one. But you can start to get in on the conversation early for next year at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Bronwyn, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, Ryan, Steve Ox, features Hugh, Michael, and Needle. Check out our Queer Rep pod will be up within the next few days for 2019. Also kind of a year in the review thing. We'll also have other kind of year in the review coverage and article I'm planning on putting out at some point with all of our rankings in them at overlyanimated.com. And then it'll be quick into next year with Infinity Train and eventually Owl House and stuff like that. Also Steven Universe Future, that we had just had weekly coverage of that, and we don't know when that's coming back yet, but hopefully soon. So, yes, the award-winning Steven Universe Future really should have won Best New Show as well. I didn't make that joke. Steven Universe Future for
Oh my
Best New
God.
Show.
Wait, are you making a joke right now?
I mean, you could argue it, but I don't think it. I wouldn't have. If people wanted to, I wouldn't have counted it. But it's just
I mean, it's
not.
fair.
It's not
I
that
just couldn't tell.
unreasonable.
Oh, that's how we do
Genuinely.
it. Put it under, if we had split the vote between Steven Universe and
I
Steven,
know everything would be gone.
Yeah,
So
it
that-
was unfair that two shows counted as one. Honestly, so
Yeah, a little
yeah,
bit.
maybe
if
it's a
Rebecca's
flaw.
telling us this is a different show, we should have counted it as
We
one.
should have, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they both would have been nominated.
Oh
They
my God.
definitely would have been. Okay, that would have been. Let's. I guess this is the only year we could have done that. It would have been funny. Anyway.
It sounded
Sorry,
funny
I'm
though.
just
Phil.
thinking about it. That would have been ridiculous.
I would have been so upset because then, like, Cactus Steven could have won Best Supporting Character, and I would lose my mind.
That's aggressive. The Cactus Steven would have been nominated. Him? Okay. Maybe. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.